Like I detect white smoke.
That means Rob Williams.
Rob Williams, the national sports editor of the Daily Hive, and its Offside Sports Vertical. Habemus Papem. He's here.
Habemus Daily Hive. Yes. Mm-hmm. We can AI that. Don't worry.
How are you, buddy?
I'm doing great. How are you guys?
Yeah, very well. We bring up the new Pope because, Rob is riffing on that.
Yeah.
On X.
Getting cheeky. Just to put it into context.
For those who are just listening on podcasts, Rob Williams, there have now been 3 popes in the time the Canucks have been looking to build a new practice facility.
Not even in the span of like trying to get back to the Stanley Cup final, just the practice facility part.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That's true.
Unbelievable.
It's true.
It seems this file is going to require divine intervention, Rob.
Well, they need to. I don't know. Apparently, they want someone to gift them some land, or I don't know what they need. Think about how much.
It's the damnedest thing.
The Archdiocese might be able to help out there. The Archdiocese might be able to.
It's true. The Archdiocese was right down there at Robson and Beatty, and no longer.
It'd be a great spot, actually, for being serious.
Here's the problem: the prices keep going up every year. They wait. They could imagine how cheap it would have cost if they built it when they first wanted to build it. So, still waiting for that.
All right. Well, it would not be your traditional partner.
Going to build the new cathedral,
but the Catholic Church does a lot in terms of youth activities, services.
I actually
sports.
think it's a rock worth turning over.
Why not?
You've
tried everybody else.
Yeah.
Maybe
the previous posts were no help to the practice.
No, exactly. Maybe the new Pope thinks it a good marketing tool, right? Yes. Yep. Let's attach our brand to sports.
Hey, we need somebody new to blame for the Canucks' woes. Easy to point the finger. You've got an update, speaking of facilities.
Well, Seat Beat is gone off here.
They're not putting in pews, are they?
Guys, I was ready on Tuesday when this dropped, late afternoon Tuesday. I thought maybe an emergency podcast.
Wow.
You guys do a great job, but I thought that maybe was a missed opportunity. The seats are here. They've begun ripping out en masse the maroon seats at last, like finally, right? This was supposed to happen. I brought it up before, but the seat beat kicked off on the Sakaris and Price show on the old station 7 years ago now, when Jeff Stipek brought it up, former Canucks COO.
Who said it was on the verge, that it was happening in short order. I mean, the seat beat has almost been a longer pursuit.
Compared to practice facilities, has been short order.
In fact, if they don't hurry up, the maroon seats are going to see a 4th Pope here later this afternoon.
Yeah, so, and we saw obviously just like that one little section of the new black seats that got installed, and then nothing. But now we're seeing like an entire section of the club seat section being yanked out, and we've got like the Canucks have shared the photos. The seats are there. It's official. They are putting them in. So we're going to see this over the summer. I think that there's only one event scheduled at Rogers Arena in May, so you'd think they'd be able to do quite a bit of work then, but I think when people start going to concerts in June, July, you're going to start seeing photos appear where, maybe half the lower bowl's done. Okay, maybe now all of the lower bowl's done. Now they're into the upper bowl. So they promised that they would be doing it this summer, and it is now like fully underway, and they've got cup holders, so people are excited about that.
No blue and green smoke yet, which means the Canucks still do not have a head coach. And, actually much like Pope Benedict, who walked off the job before Pope Francis.
Very, very rare.
It's very rare for an NHL head coach to just walk away from the gig and then begin applying elsewhere. He didn't get the Anaheim gig, Rick Tocchet, but it just sort of sunk in to me today, Rob, that he really did just walk away, and he's plying his trade elsewhere, isn't he?
Yeah, I mean, I do. Ultimately, I think he knows.
Were you in conclave over the last couple of weeks without your phone?
I guess it just sort of, in my mind, it was just like, it didn't work out, negotiations, blah, like, it just didn't dawn on me really till today is like, no, he just walked away. He just walked away. It's weird.
I think he knows he's got one of these jobs, right? And we're seeing reports out now where it's like he's pretty well got his pick, after Mike Sullivan lands with the Rangers, which I thought might have been an interesting spot for Tocchet. He's probably got his pick of a number of jobs. I think he knew that when he left Vancouver. Does he leave the Vancouver job if he doesn't think he has any of these other jobs? I don't know. If he can go back to TNT if he wants, but does he want that? I mean, he strikes me as a guy that really loves coaching and wants to do that. I think he just it's no different from a player, right? If you walk a player right to July 1st, well, suddenly, why am I going to re-sign with you when I can just listen to what all the other teams have to say? There might be a better situation for me. There might be more money. There might be a lot of different things. So why not do that? And obviously it's a bit of a tire fire in Vancouver. So, I keep coming back to like, why didn't they re-sign him last summer? Like, why didn't they sign him to an extension? I don't understand why they let it get to this point, but they did. And I think it's rare, but it makes a ton of sense. You're an in-demand coach. And you can go wherever you want.
If Rick winds up coaching Philly or Pittsburgh, or maybe even Boston too, I think a lot of Canucks fans will get it, right? Particularly the Pennsylvania teams, based on Rick's history with them.
Yeah.
If Tocchet winds up coaching the Seattle Kraken or the Chicago Blackhawks, Rob, we were asking this yesterday. Do Canucks fans have a right to be a little miffed at that, feel a little betrayed if he walks off this job to take the one down the I-5 or go join the tire fire that is the Blackhawks?
Pittsburgh and Philly, to me, do not look like desirable spots. I know he played there. I know he coached in Pittsburgh as well. Like, I know he had a ton of success there. But, like, if you're Rick Tocchet, he's not getting any younger here. Like, do you want to win a Stanley Cup or not? I don't see those as spots where he can win Stanley Cups. Chicago, I get it. Original 6 franchise. You got Connor Bedard. Should be on the way up. But again, that's going to take, like, how many years away are they? I feel like that's probably a spot where he can help them grow, and then he gets fired for the next coach to come in and win a Stanley Cup. Seattle, there's not, they're missing those key building blocks. Like, they're missing like the superstars in the making. They don't have those guys. So how do you win there? To me, it would be a bit of a head scratcher if he goes somewhere that's not closer to a Stanley Cup than the Canucks. And I don't think the Canucks are close to a Stanley Cup, but they've got Quinn Hughes. They've got some things here. I don't know what these other markets really have in the way of like getting him closer to that goal.
Have you got a front runner? Have you got a favorite in your mind?
Yeah, give me your front runner.
Yeah, I'm sort of thinking just in terms of like the profile of a guy that the Canucks need here, and the talk about Adam Foote just sort of kind of has me miffed as well. Like okay, Quinn Hughes likes Foote, great. Like, do you know what Hughes likes more than Adam Foote? Winning hockey games. Like, bring in the coach that's going to win the most hockey games. Maybe Adam Foote turns out to be a good National Hockey League head coach. But quite frankly, he doesn't have the resume for it, right? Like, he's had that 1 year in junior that didn't go well as running his own bench. He's had a couple of years behind an NHL bench with Rick Tocchet. So he's, learned under Tocchet, but like let's be real here. And like keeping Quinn Hughes happy, all of this talk about like, oh, do they need to go and have a, sign this guy or have a good year next year? I think they have to have a good year next year, at least a positive year. They've got to show him some progress, though, I think. And I think there needs to be hope for the future for him to re-sign with a team. There's no good saying like, okay, last year was good, we made the playoffs, but it's not looking so good in the next 5 years, right? In terms of finding that guy, I think they need to find a guy that's going to obviously win hockey games. What's the biggest key to getting this team back on track? I think it's getting Elias Pettersson back on track. So can they find someone to unlock that talent? I do think that, so spoiler alert, the guy I think that I kind of have my eye on, and I'm talking myself into him more and more and more, is Jay Woodcroft. Mm-hmm. Look at Jay Woodcroft's record with the Oilers. Yeah, he's coaching McDavid and Draisaitl. He got fired after a bad 13 games. Like, otherwise, his record in Edmonton was excellent.
And his defense and goaltending were as bad as his forwards were good.
If he gets a few more saves, he is still the coach of the Edmonton Oilers.
Exactly. And the type of guy I really like, I think having somebody that's a little bit younger, he's 48 years old, I think that might be a good way to kind of connect with Pettersson. I think there could be something there. He's obviously got tons of years as an assistant coach, tons of years not tons of years, but success at the AHL level as a head coach. He's had the 2 years in Edmonton. I also think it's really key. I think it's key having NHL experience, first of all, especially when you're walking into a market like this. You're walking to a place where the media pressure is high. You're walking into a place where you need to be careful what you say. And you're walking to a place where there's expectations on winning. You're not going to have like 2 years to sort of just figure it out. So I think having NHL experience already, I think most coaches are better in their second stop than their first stop. And also having experience in a Canadian market, where you're getting asked tough questions. Like in Edmonton, you get asked tough questions in Edmonton, I think. So yeah, I think he's got the resume for that, and if not him, someone like him. I view that more as the type of guy rather than like the Peter Laviolettes that have maybe a bit of a prickly reputation. A guy that's into his 60s now might have a little tougher time connecting with the younger players. So that's who I've got my eye on.
Yeah. Do the lesser known names, the Mike Vellucci's, Mitch Love, Todd Nelson's, do they do anything for you? Should they do anything for the Canucks? And how do you think the reception would be from the fan base if it's an assistant or an AHL head coach, someone who isn't quite as known to the market?
Yeah, I mean, like ultimately, I think the fan reaction, like if they hire Manny Malhotra, people will love it, right? Will he be a great coach here? I'm not sure. I will say, of the guys that don't have a lot of experience, Malhotra seems like he, again, younger guy, has had some success being an assistant coach, but being an assistant coach in Vancouver and Toronto, I think of all places, I think would help him prepare him for this type of role. So that will be like, people will love that because people in Vancouver love Manny Malhotra. Now, is that the right move though? I don't know. If they hire a Mitch Love or somebody, Mike Vellucci, somebody else that's lesser known, I don't think it'll excite fans in the same way. But ultimately, that doesn't matter. Like, can you win? Who's gonna be who's the right choice? Who's the guy that's gonna get them the most wins? Ultimately, that's the guy that's gonna make a lot of things better for the Vancouver Canucks.
All right, Rob. Well, Seatbeat is coming to a conclusion.
Yeah,
I can't imagine how sad that makes you. It has been such a big part of your media career here. And,
I think he has to go on like a global journey.
Exactly.
Go find yourself.
We're going to need to
love.
find a new dead horse for you to beat.
We are not done yet, guys. Like, first of all, let's see them all. First of all, let's see them all in place by
Let's
puck
finish
drop.
Installation. Yeah, he's got a
Like,
few more.
are there going to be maroon seats still hanging around in preseason? So let's see how that goes. Are there going to be an interruption?
Aesthetic so heinous of a few maroons still clinging on.
I'll be disappointed.
Will tariffs interrupt the delivery of the seat? Where are these seats coming from? I'm not sure how that's going. Also, guys, there's cup holders on the back of those seats. I don't know if you've been to games, been to games at Rogers Arena and noticed like there's not a ton of room
No.
when you have to stand up and let somebody walk right by you. Are people going to be banging their knees,
Snapping them off.
Right.
Snapping them off. Are they going to break
God.
them?
Kind of quality
Think of the
these, yeah.
storylines. I mean, it's clear he has thought about this comprehensively, and there are going to be many sidebars to write between now
I'll be disappointed
and next September.
if you don't have a man cave, a basement rec room that is just maroon
you
seats.
should get
Okay.
a maroon
rows
seat,
and
Rob.
rows of
Okay,
You really
I
should,
also-
as a testament to how far you've come.
I've reached out to the Canucks to ask what is going to happen with the old Maroons.
You're worried about them.
Because
You're
I'm
worried about
I'm
them.
This
interested
guy.
in this. Because you got 18,000 seats. Are these all going to the dump? I mean, I think the Canucks. I think they're gonna find a way to cash in on this. Little
Yes.
fucker.
Sell them off.
Auction them off? Like,
Yeah.
are there people who feel sentimental about their maroon
The
seats?
beer-soaked seats.
Yeah, exactly.
I do.
Son, this was the seat I was sitting in when Alex Burrows slayed the dragon, and then I jumped back into it, and it
Yep.
broke.
I was talking to Noah yesterday about like what would you pay for a maroon seat. I would pay some money for a maroon seat. I feel like I need to have one of these seats at this point. I need.
It's the
one in
Stockholm
my
syndrome.
place.
It is.
Yeah.
He just
I
lost
need
me.
one of these. Yeah.
7 years, he was very good on this file, and right at the end, he blew it.
You know, reporters that are
When you say good money, like $100 plus, you'd pay for the seat, or $50.
I $50. I do it without blinking.
It's a done deal.
Yeah, done deal. So I don't know what the price point is going to be on this. I mean, there can't be, people with this kind of like illness like I have here to want these maroon seats.
No,
You've got
no, there
18,000 of
couldn't
them
be.
to move. They got 18,000 of them to move.
Right.
But yeah, there you go.
spend the money on therapy,
There you
not
go.
the seats.
I just
please.
hope someone at Canuck Sports Entertainment is listening. They could bring a great idea to their boss here.
Yeah.
And one of them said he'd spend 50 flat, easy. Boss, I think we can mark these up to 99.99.
times 17,000.
Yeah,
That's a
exactly.
lot of dough.
Yeah, plus
They should
tax,
hire.
plus
They should
an
hire
admin
me as
fee.
a brand ambassador to help move more of these here.
They really should.
Yeah.
They really should. Glad you're with us.
Thanks, buddy.
Thanks, guys.